Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, all, and welcome to this fortnight's installment of the IshPlusSix Podcast, the podcast series where you could discover your next favorite artist. On today's episode, I am joined by Nigerian, London-based artist ytboutthataction. ytboutthataction, though only recently emerging onto the underground scene, has proven with her few releases that she is not someone to ignore. With versatile flow, beats, and concepts, she is definitely someone to keep an eye on within the next few years. Make sure you all go check out her most recent track, 24, on all platforms. Please all welcome ytboutthataction to the podcast. How's it going, Whitey? What's up?
What's up? Hey, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, man. Honestly, it's a pleasure. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right as well. I know that you've mentioned in the past that you mentioned it on like your first EP, Sage Mode. I just want to make sure that I'm actually pronouncing it right. It is Whitey about that action.
Yo,
Right?
you're literally perfect. I actually wondered, like, is it like difficult? Because I don't know, obviously, it's my name, so I don't know what it's like from the outside looking in. But is it hard to read?
It took me a split second to actually process it, but nah, it was
Oh,
calm for me.
okay.
It was calm for me.
I feel like I get mixed. Like people are like, "How do you pronounce your name again?" But then the people that have already heard my songs, like they know it's YT about the action. But yeah, you said it literally perfectly.
Yeah,
YT about that. Yeah.
you've seen every single episode of the podcast before, obviously. You know that we always start off with a joke. Today's no different, and yeah,
Yeah.
let's get into it. Let's get it out of the way.
Okay.
Listeners know at this point how fed up I am of this bit, but we're in too deep. Um, cool. What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday, YT? What did the pirate say?
I don't know. What did he say?
I'm 80.
What the fuck? That was so lame that like I have to laugh because of how lame it is. Like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what?
Bad up. Yeah,
Oh
nah,
my God.
it was.
Bravo. That was really funny.
I didn't make it up. People don't come for me because I didn't make it up. But
Wait,
anyways,
where did you get it from?
but just Reddit. Honestly, I'll be real with you. I just steal them from Reddit because it's like
Oh my.
so dumb
Shout out to Reddit.
for real. But yeah. So yeah, Whitey, welcome to the podcast. Just tell us a little bit about yourself before we carry on.
That question is always so.
It's
What do you
very
want to
wide, isn't
know?
it? It's very open.
What do you want to know?
I
Anything
Tell us a
specific?
little bit about like I guess where you grew up, where you're coming to us from, how you're doing, all of that. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about the
Okay,
Whitey story.
so I grew up in Nigeria. Well, I left Nigeria after I was 12. I was born here, but then I went back like after I was like one, like with my mom when I was a baby. And then I was in Nigeria for like yeah, so 12 years until I was 12. And then I came here in year nine. I went to boarding school. Sorry, it's coming through. I went to boarding school in Surrey, and it was really fun. And yeah, I went to uni here, and I've just been here ever since. And now I'm in London, but I'll soon go back probably. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's my story. That's my journey.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I hear stories about a lot of people, being born here or even being born in Nigeria, moving here, all of that. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's really common to see actually.
What stories do you hear about people like that?
I don't know, just people. I think you know what I'm about to say, but
I don't know, but I mean, I can take a wild guess, but let's hear
I
it.
do hear a lot about a lot of kids getting sent back, like shipped back there, and
Oh,
just
really?
the parents just letting home deal with their kids. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, 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 that was not what happened with me. I literally just like, lots of people like I grew up with and people around me, like our parents came here or like to America or to Ireland just to give birth, just to have a safe delivery, literally, because the healthcare in Nigeria is quite poor and stuff like that. And like your risk of obviously having any complications during childbirth is like I guess, slimmer if you don't give birth in Nigeria. So a lot of people were just coming here to give birth, and that's basically what happened to me. So my whole family, my parents, everyone is like lives in Nigeria. We just when like they just literally gave birth to me and came back.
You know what? That makes so much sense, and I've never even thought
Yeah.
about it like that, actually.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. I do want to talk a little bit about your artist name as well, actually. So I'm aware that I am aware of your actual name, and from a first glance, just looking from a high level, that your actual name isn't that similar to your artist name, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So I just
And that
wanted to
was
talk about that a
intentional.
little bit.
That was intentional because obviously, having like I didn't know where this was going. It was like an alias, YT by that action, like an alter ego. It's like another personality. It's like I feel like my real self. I mean, my music is real, but like I feel like my day to day and my persona that I portray as YT by that action are completely different. And so like I needed something to embody that. I feel like my real name is strictly for, the people that I grew up with, the people that saw me like go through life and stuff like that. And I feel like YT was like a rebrand almost. It was like a rebirth. It was like I was coming out into a new almost. And I needed something to embody that. Literally, that's what it was. And I didn't want people to recognize me, like people that knew me. I didn't want them to know that I made music. Honestly, I just wanted something that, I mean, there was no way to escape that. So like, yeah, I was never going to be able to escape that. But just like, I was just thinking more so of like, I don't know. I just wanted to have that alter ego, I guess. Like
Yeah,
just something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have heard young Tutu get thrown about a little bit in the past.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally, I mean, yeah, that name came out because so I was always like younger than everyone else in my year because I'm a 98 baby, but all my peers were like 90, 97. So I was born in November, right? And
yeah,
you know how the school term starts in September, and everyone born from September to like August, I guess the following year is in one set. So, but I was like born in November, so that was 2 months after the day, like the month that everyone else is born, blah 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 blah. So everyone, while like for example, when I was in year nine, I came into year nine when I was 12, and I was turning 13, and everyone was 13, turning 14. Does that make sense? So yeah, I was younger than everyone, so they called me Young Toots. And even though I'm not so young, I'm not as young as I was. The name is just always going to be there, just based on that Young Toots. So yeah, it's Young Toots, not Young Tutu. Yeah,
Oh, really? Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Yeah, because obviously the YT young tunes, that's crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously the about that action, that's I don't know, it kind of gives like almost comic book superhero kind of thing, you know what I
Not comic book superhero. Don't kill me, please. Uh,
mean? But
no, that the name came from. I had a private story in back in the day, like in 2018, 2017, and it was just like, hey guys, hey friends, come follow me about my day. It was one of those times where you kind of like transition from posting your life and stuff on like your main story, and then people just started making more private stories and posting their daily lives on their private stories as opposed to their main stories. So it was just like, yeah, guys, come see me do my daily stuff. And I was like, yeah, what should I call it? And then I called it Young Toots about that action, and it just stuck. But I never thought about it for music at all. Like I never thought I was gonna make music. So, but when the time came, I was like, yep, that's the name I'm going for.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, to be fair, I couldn't imagine posting my day to day on my main story
No,
nowadays, especially in
literally,
this day and
yeah,
age.
no. Even now, I don't even really have a private story anymore. Like that was like back in the day when I had energy, but like now it's like nah. But yeah, that was like a fitting story name for like your day-to-day life and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's it's crazy how times have changed. But yeah. So you mentioned you were born in November. If I'm not mistaken, I I happen to I don't dabble with star signs and all of that, but I have an awareness of them. You know what I mean? Because people always remind me how toxic I am because of mine.
Oh my, what's your sign?
Let's just say
Gemini.
it. Let's just say it. Let's just say I was born in June. Let's leave it.
I knew it. I actually knew it. Maybe you said toxic. Funny enough, okay, no, that's cap. I was about to say I don't think Gemini are toxic, but that's cap. Like, yeah, like I would be lying to you if I said that. So
Jeez. Look,
yeah.
I'm working on it, all right. I want to talk a little bit about your star sign, which is something I never really thought I'd hear myself saying, but
Oh my God. Are you one of those people that's like, oh my God, I can't believe people like astrology. You astrology girls are insane. Astrology.
do you know
Are you one of
what?
those?
Do you know what, right? Some days I find it hard to believe because like it's difficult to believe that the stars have an effect on like someone's personality, like someone's entire personality, you know. And there are so many other contributing factors and all of that, like where they're born, how their parents are, that
No, but
kind of
like
thing.
the way I see it, right? It's like scientific. So our body is made up of 75% water, and the tides and the oceans and the waves, they move with the moon, like in a gravitational pull, right? And if the ocean and the waves can respond to the moon, why why are we exempt? You know what I mean? Like I genuinely feel like there's like a magnetic gravitational pull that the movement of the moon affects us with. Like I genuinely think that like I despite the fact that like astrology is real just based on off of how accurate it is when it comes to, you know, explaining people's personalities and shit like that. Wait, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah,
Still.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. If it's like yeah, it's accurate about explaining people's personalities, but also like the moon genuinely, if it has an effect on water, then it would have an effect on the water in our bodies because yeah, we respond to gravity. So why, yeah, that's just the way I see it.
I
You
feel
know?
that, yeah. I
Yeah.
I think the main thing for me is just I will say I do think that the month or just the general time of year that you're born in
Mhm.
can have an effect on like your
Yeah.
upbringing and the personality traits you I
Yeah.
suppose you digest, I guess, from your
Mhm.
upbringing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, for instance, if you're born in like winter, that's a colder time, so da, as opposed to like, I don't
Mhm.
know, like spring or summer or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know because it's just,
I feel like it's one thing to be skeptical about it, but I just can't stand people that knock people for believing in it just because it's just as I'm a Christian, like I believe in God, but it's just as absurd as believing in like a God. You know what I mean? Like it's like you have no real tangible evidence of it, but then you choose to believe in it. So why is it so difficult to believe that people believe in astrology? And I feel like as I have like I go by like God and the Bible, but I also go by like spirituality, the universe. And I really feel like as someone who experiences both things, my spirituality has done a lot for me. Like me following my horoscope, like astrology, stuff like that. It really has shown me like a sense of self-awareness that I never knew that I could have. And it just really explains like my interactions with people, you know, just and it's like if something is working, why would I doubt that it exists? You know what I mean? Because it has never really failed me. Like it explains everything, literally. So yeah, it's not, I don't think it's absurd personally. I don't see why people think it is, but hey, I mean, I'm not everyone.
I feel that, yeah, I feel that. Do you know what? I kind of feel it, but let's just get into the question, I guess.
Oh yeah, ask your
Um,
question.
I just want to know, would you say that the traits that you've, I guess, inherited from your star sign are something that would directly influence your music? And I'm not just talking about the lyrics, but also like, I suppose the sound as well, like the beats and the instrumentals, that kind of thing.
Um, I I feel like maybe it has maybe not the beats, but definitely the lyrics for sure. Like I think I'm a Scorpio, and the stereotype for Scorpios is that, you know, what did they even say about Scorpios? What do you hear about Scorpios?
I just hear that you guys are bad people, honestly.
Yeah, and I don't understand that because I generally no one has ever given me a proper explanation as to why that is. They just say that because that's what people say. But really and truly, like I don't maybe I'm biased, but I don't see what's wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like how am I that person? But no, I think as a Scorpio, I think we're very intuitive and we're very mindful of like our surroundings. And I think that is really what I try to embody in my music. Like my music is basically just me saying over and over again how much I just like to be by myself. Like if you really listen to my lyrics, I'm basically just saying, "Hey, everyone just leave me alone." That's basically what it is. And I feel like yeah, that's definitely a very Scorpio thing for sure. Like we can come across as really standoffish, but really we're actually the biggest. We're very, very emotional. Like we're very in tune with our feelings because we think a lot. Like we spend a lot of time just reflecting, and so I feel like we're so in touch with our feelings, and the smallest thing makes us like react, not react, but like we notice everything, and I feel like it really helps with my music because my hyper awareness makes me have more things to talk about because I'm noticing everything, like every small thing. And I feel like yeah, just I feel like as a Scorpio, we're paranoid people for sure. Like we have trust issues, you know what I mean? And I feel like because of how we kind of like we have the ability to like psychoanalyze people even when they don't even want to be psychoanalyzed. And as it's happening, I feel like because we see it, we don't want people to see it in us. And I feel like that's why people say that we're bad people because we don't really like I feel like we're not very like you wouldn't really know what we're thinking until like you say it. Do you know what I mean? My music is like very like you literally hear me just be skeptical of people and just that's basically just like my perception of the world basically. And I think definitely it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm a Scorpio for sure. But I also just think it's my upbringing as well. Like I just think that I've just always been a skeptic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
Um,
that. I feel that.
yeah.
I do want to talk a little bit about your song 24. I want to talk about it's your most recent release and
Yes.
happy birthday for I say
Thank
happy
you,
birthday. It was like
November.
three months ago. I want to talk about I suppose the subject matter in that track. I again the instrumental as well because there was a beat switch in that track,
Yeah.
which as far as I'm aware, I do think it was one of your first beat switches, if I'm not mistaken, or it is your first beat switch.
Yeah, I think that was my first beat switch. If you count like a slow down pitch or like change in tempo, would you count that as a beat switch?
I guess you could say that, yeah. And I do think, yeah, now that you say that, I do think I recall hearing one of those actually in one of your
Yeah, I've done a few of those, but like a completely different beat. Yeah, this is my first time, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to talk about that if there was like a deeper meaning behind that, because the first half seemed like sort of almost a hyper rage kind of sound
Yeah,
to a more
yeah,
relaxed R&B acoustic kind of
yeah,
sound in the end. So I want to talk about that.
for sure. I feel like it was definitely to symbolize my growth as a person. I feel like I came into this industry. Well, I didn't that use that term loosely, like industry. What does that even mean? But I started making music on a whim. I literally had no expectations, no, I just did it because it was fun and I was just like, having fun, making music, talking my shit, blah 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 blah. And I feel like yeah, now I'm transitioning into like a more, I guess, um, I feel like I've grown a lot since I've made music, and I feel like that was just to like embody the. I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say making common music means that you're more mature. I don't think that that's the case, but I feel like it definitely shows my maturity in the sense that it's like I've quietened the noise a little bit. Like I found a way to like drown out the noise, and in like my new age, it's like I'm more at peace almost like, and I feel like that's basically what I was trying to convey with the beat switch up. It was like, okay, now, girl, you're no longer a child, you're no longer a baby. This is what you're doing now. This is life now, and you're very much within the ballpark to like give yourself whatever kind of life you want. And I feel like it was like, yeah, like now you have all the tools ready, you have all the skills, you're equipped, you're no longer a baby. And yeah, that's actually just basically what the beat switch was. It was like, yeah, cut the crap, like, yeah, dead ass. This is what we're doing now. Like that's actually what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think we'll tie it back. We'll come back to that near to the end when we talk about like your future stuff. But
Yeah,
I want to move on a little bit because you have mentioned in the past about your upbringing, your influences, that kind of thing. You spent a lot
yeah,
of time growing up listening to or just consuming content from MTV Base.
yes,
And
yes,
yeah, I want to obviously music videos were a big part of MTV Base. I want to talk a little bit about how music videos as a whole have changed, I guess, since like, the mid thousands,
yeah,
early tens. I want to know
yeah.
about the aspects of those videos that drew you in the most and just kept you focused on what was going on your screen.
Do you know what's so funny? Like someone who was really captivating to me was Rihanna. And it was so funny. Up to today, I don't know why, but whenever she came on the screen, my dad always changed the channel. And it wasn't even based on, oh, she's like a sexual person. Because there were other people that were doing sexual stuff. I don't even know why. To this day, I don't know why. And then when I used to ask him, I would be like, Dad, like, why did you change the channel? And he'd be like, I'll tell you when you're older. And now I'm older, and he still says the same thing. Like, do you want me to be 50 before you tell me why? Like, I don't know why to this day. But no, yeah, Rihanna was definitely very captivating. Ponde replay video, I can never forget when I first watched that video. That was crazy. Also, even though I don't like his like views and opinions, 50 Cent back then, I actually met him as well. But yeah, 50 Cent back then, his videos were crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, Nicki, I was a huge Nicki Minaj. I still am. Like I'm a barb, but yeah,
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj that was my girl. Like that's probably the first person I properly like stand. I think.
See, now
Yeah, I
I've
was
got
like,
the thing is now I've got two reasons to be scared of you. You're a Scorpio and you're a Barb. Come on, man. This is the stuff I
not
see
this.
Barb's getting up to on
No,
any
I'm
social
not. Okay, I'm
media
not like
ever.
a Twitter barb. Like I'm not like a social media barb. Like I'm not like Roman. No, I'm very much like a sane barb. Like I'll check my mother. Like I'll check her when she's out of line. Tweeting out of pocket. But she's not like I'm a fan, but like she's not like the ruler of my life or anything like that. Like I'm okay. Trust me. But yeah, Nikki would definitely had a really big impact on me. Obviously Beyonce. Um, who else? Who else was like? Oh yeah, also Lady Gaga as well. I was a
Mm.
huge Lady Gaga fan. Like Lady Gaga, when I saw her, I was like, what is this sorcery? I was just addicted to it. Whatever it was, I was like, yeah, I need more of that. But her videos were always like her visuals were crazy as well. Um, I feel like times have changed a lot because I don't know. You'd think that a society would become more and more I guess progressive, but I feel like I definitely remember seeing more dark-skinned video vixens and like, you know, like naturally built women and stuff like that back in the day than I see now. I feel like now it's like more, lighter skin, stuff like that, which I guess is interesting. But yeah, I just feel like darker skinned women were more celebrated back in the day. And it's kind of sad to see because how are we going back in society? So, but
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It's like I don't know, it feels like almost there's a pushback because there definitely is
Hmm.
a vocal group on like socials talking about how dark-skinned rappers need to be celebrated more,
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
oh my God.
and,
Yeah,
e- and even actresses as well because you always hear Zendaya's name get brought up in that conversation,
yeah, yeah.
and the other one as well, the one that was in Hunger Games that died in like the first movie. I can't remember her
Amanda
name. Yeah,
Silver.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
Rue. That shit broke my heart though. Like, shout out Rue.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, it was I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, I hadn't read the book, so I was like, whatever, man. Let me just because I was watching it in English class. I was like, bro, I just want to be out of this class, fam. Just come
Wait,
on.
you watched the Hunger Games in English?
Yeah, because I was like,
Did you
I think
study in English, or it was just like one of those lessons where you were?
this was back when I was in like year 8 or something.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay, okay.
but
Okay, okay, cool.
but yeah,
Yeah.
no, I never
We did Of Mice and Men and Animal Farm. Do you
Animal
do you
Farm.
know those?
I know of Mice and Men. Yeah, of Mice and Men
Yeah,
was something back in the day.
yeah.
It is crazy because there are a lot of dark skinned rappers out there. There's Kali,
Mhm,
Dochi.
mhm.
I mean,
There's also Family and all those people, but for me, I feel like with Family specifically, I feel like people tend to bring certain rappers up just as like talking points. Like I feel like people just bring them up and they're like, okay, but you guys don't listen to this person. Blah, blah. She's so underrated, but why don't you bring them up in like a separate conversation? Like, oh, everyone listen to this Family song, or everyone listen to this Dochi song. Not, oh, don't listen to this person, listen to this person. Like, you know what I mean? It's always like a rebuttal as opposed to just like shining a light on them just for based on the fact that they're just their own individuals. And yes, it's interesting. There's so much to unpack though. It's like that conversation is like so loaded that I don't even know.
exactly.
Are we going there today?
I mean, I don't know. We can, but it's like we were still talking about the music videos and all of that. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
it is a lot of dark-skinned female rappers out there that could be listened to. And I suppose, I mean,
Of
I guess we're
course.
back to square one. I mean, like, obviously Doechii, Flo Milli and Saucy
Yeah.
Santana and all of the. I'm joking. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
No, but Saucy Santana is amazing, please.
To be fair, I was watching the XXL freestyle cipher thing, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, he does. Is it they? What were the
Yeah,
he?
he's he, I think, yeah.
Yeah, his verse was unironically the best one out of all four or five of
Santana
them.
be rapping his ass off, bro. Don't sleep. Like, don't sleep, please.
Exactly.
Santana be rapping his ass off.
Yeah, nah, it was
I love
crazy. It was
Santana.
crazy.
I love Santana. But yeah, definitely I think for sure, like I don't know what it is, honestly. It's definitely colorism, but I just wish that it's like colorism, but it's also like even just them being in the conversation in the first place. Like how do they get their foot in the door in the first place if people are not even willing to like pay attention to them? But also I also feel like they are succeeding in their own right. Like I feel like these things, as an artist, like you think you're doing well, you're probably celebrating your accolades, like I just got booked, blah blah blah. And then you go on Twitter and someone is calling you underrated, and you're like, what? I thought I just killed my set. Like it's like, what are you calling
Exactly.
me underrated? Like like I get what they mean though. Like when people call you underrated, they're never coming from a bad place.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't really realize the pressure that they put on you as an artist because you're like, I thought I was killing it. So you mean I'm not killing it? I'm not killing it. Like, what
Yeah.
are you trying to say?
And an
Yeah.
interesting point to add to that underrated take is the whole best newcoming artist or something like that. Like you'll see
Mm-hmm.
newcoming artists who have been on the scene for like
Yeah.
5+ years.
Yeah.
I swear it was either Lato or someone like that who just recently got nominated for best new artist at like Grammys or I don't know what it was.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's crazy to see
Like,
because
what does new mean? You mean new to you? Like, what do you mean by new?
exactly
Like,
like
they're making it. I don't know. This whole thing is so interesting. Like, who decides really like how? I guess like the way that I see it is like if someone doesn't get, I guess, nominated for some award or something, does that mean that they're not still killing it? Or like who said that these people are the metric system of how great an artist is? Like I don't who gave them the, like, you know what I mean? They're just a bunch of people who decided that. So that's the way I see it anyway.
I did want to talk a little bit about your past collaborations actually. I know that you have collaborated with a couple of other Nigerians, female Nigerians in particular, Brazy, Tiwu,
Lola.
Lola, of course, Lola,
Mhm.
in Drunk. And I want to talk about how important it is to you to, I guess, support others in your demographic? Because obviously, as a Nigerian female yourself or woman yourself,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
I imagine it would be something that's, of
yeah.
serious importance to you.
Um, no, I always say this, like, there's no way I could have done this journey if, my girls weren't doing it as well. Like, it's so beautiful to have such a community of other girls pursuing the same thing. Like, it's very uplifting. It's so nice, like seeing everyone just do their thing. Like we're all killing it in our respective rights, and it's just beautiful. Because I remember when we first started, people would tweet, "These Lagos girls should stop. These Lagos girls should stop making music. Oh my God, why Lagos girls making music?" And it's just so funny because they never said this to the boys. They never said this to the guys. It was when the girls came and they were like, "Lagos girls are always making music." So it was like
Sorry,
really
which
like
girls?
Lagos,
Oh,
Lagos girls.
Lagos, right.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like I feel like us coming together and doing this and still being consistent and killing it at that is like a massive fuck you to the people who just did not like the fact that women were doing something like this. It was like, why are they doing it? Meanwhile, you have no reason, you have no like leg to stand on. You just don't want to see us do our thing for whatever reason. So it was just really weird. So yeah, it's been really nice having them. We're all friends, so it's just like a nice community. Like when we hang out, we record, and it's nice. It was nice. It was always nice.
Now,
Yeah.
let me just full screen it. There we go. Okay, cool. We were talking about your previous project. So, for instance, 2021 song "Drunk."
Mm,
You touched on what I suppose could potentially be a metaphor for being deep in love with a person, sort of reckless love. These lyrics about crazy nights, and then there seemed
mm-hmm.
to be kind of like a tone change in the second verse, to a
Yeah.
more like conflicted stage in the relationship. I want to talk a little bit
Mm.
about that, I
Wait,
guess.
which one are you talking about? Drunk or Real Eyes or both?
Drunk, or I guess both if they both relate to each other.
So how drunk is like specific times. Okay. Mm, I don't mind. I'm trying to remember how it goes.
Yeah,
So I can properly analyze the lyrics. So yeah, Drunk was just basically me and Lola linked up and we were like, we had just gone out the weekend before and we had fun and we were like, you know what, let's make a song about it. And we made a song and it was cute. Funny enough, I quit drinking officially in November. I don't drink anymore. But it was just like a cute, I don't mind getting drunk. Um, and then wait, I'm trying to pull up the lyrics so I can
yeah.
see the second.
Was was
Because
that a
I can't
direct
remember what
result
it
of your
said.
birthday or something like that, or was it just
Well,
you stopping
no,
drinking?
it wasn't for my birthday. It was just a series of things. Alcohol is not my best friend. Let's put it like that. It's
I
not
feel that.
best friend at all. So honestly, it's a depressant. It's just like yeah. I just was like, there's no need for me to drink anymore. It doesn't bring anything good. And honestly, to go out when I have fun, like to have fun when I go out, I all I need is a good time, good company, and good music. That's just really what it is. Okay. Okay, so the brain is all scrambled on the money that you take. Yeah, well, just honestly, this song was just vibes, man. Like it was just vibes. I was just talking shit. Anything that rhymed, anything that was in the theme of crazy nights, like that's what I was just thinking about. Um, this song was written in like an hour or less, like 30 minutes. And we just recorded it immediately and we were like, yeah, it's good to go.
Yeah.
But what was your specific question about the
I
second
suppose it
verse?
was just to go a bit deeper into that. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I feel like this song, honestly, I could say I'm trying to come up with like a deep meaning, but this song was just vibes, literally
Yeah.
vibes.
Was Real Eyes a bit similar because there is
Yeah,
a
no, no,
lyric
no,
in
Real Eyes
that
was
that
not. The Real Eyes was deep. Like
yeah,
that was some real shit. Like,
because there was a lyric in there which threw me completely because you said ain't let a nigga this close since 1999, the year after I was born. I was shook because I mean, I feel like most people don't log in until they're like until they're like 4 or 5 years old. So, the year
No,
after you were
yeah,
born, that's crazy.
yeah, since 1999. No, that was a lot of my lyrics are honestly hyperbolic. Like I literally say things just for the drama. Like I say, not that it's not like it's cap, it's just exaggerated. So maybe it wasn't like necessarily 1999, but it's been ages. So yeah, that's basically like my lyrics are like just exaggeration after exaggeration after exaggeration, literally.
You know
But it's
what?
not cap.
You've been letting niggas close since 1999. That's crazy. What?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just playing around. But yeah, no, it's good that it's honestly crazy how, you can convey such a deep message through lyrics like that, you know?
No, literally. I feel like when I write my music, I'm like in another world. Like I'm just like in another zone. And then when I come out, it's like, oh, I wrote that. That's literally what it gives. I don't really. It's like I just let my feelings do the talking. So there's always truth to it. It's just like it might not be accurate in the sense that yeah, it might not have been 1999, but it does feel like it. That's that's basically what it is.
You've explored sort of like the hyper feminine rap kind of melodic scene. You've explored
Yeah,
a bit of indie in, again, tracks like Drunk and Real Eyes. I want to talk a little bit about the future. Obviously, you're from Nigeria, big Afrobeat
yeah,
scene there. I want to talk a little bit
yeah.
about your potential future in music.
Yeah, this honestly, this interview is coming at perfect timing because I'm literally about to drop a single next month, March 15th, and following from that is going to be an EP. So I'm really excited for that. I'm definitely going to be exploring new sounds. It's like more of like it's like new and old. So there's a mixture of the YT that everyone knows, and then there's like new stuff, like me exploring a new sound. It's more my own take on Afrobeats, but it's not Afrobeats. It's not like it's not your Afrobeats beat, but it's like an African person on like a deep house beat, for example.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like I'm definitely just I feel like my sound is very experimental, even though the stuff that I put out maybe might not portray that. I still don't know what my sound is. Like I'm still figuring it out. I'm still trying new things. I have way more that I would like to do like way, way down the line when I have all the resources that I need. But right now I'm just doing what I can with what I have. But I'm hopefully by this time next year I'll be able to produce what like comes from my head directly because I've been producing on the side. So I can't wait to be able to like put out my own beats as well for
can we
sure.
expect to
Yeah.
see like, can we expect to see any albums or anything like that soon, or are you still in EP mode?
I'm still in EP mode. Before I drop an album, I feel like you guys will know when the album is ready because yeah, I'm not album level yet, just because not because I don't think I'm capable. I just don't have like I need for me to be at album level, I need a live piano next to me. Like I need like a talking drum. Like I need everything in my face, like I need everything constructed from scratch type shit. Like I need every vocal, everything to be yeah, not that that's not how my EP is gonna be. It's still gonna be mad, but it's just like with what I can get in this time frame. So yeah, album in the future for sure, but not this year.
Yeah, we're all patient here. We've been waiting we waited how many years for a SZA album, so it's
Exactly. And honestly, I want the album to be so perfect that 20 years from now you listen to it and you're like, it's still relevant sonically, lyrically, culturally, like everything. So yeah.
exactly, absolutely, yeah. I do have one more question before I let you go on your way, YT,
Okay.
and I ask this question to everyone. You are heard by everyone on Earth for 10 seconds. What do you say?
For 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, can I think about it
Yeah,
or
go
is it
ahead. Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna just okay, wait, let me think about this. What do I say to the world? Um, I would say the world is ending. Be yourself. Um, the world is ending. Be yourself. Have fun doing it. Yeah, that's what that's all I would say. Literally, I know that's kind of lame, but yeah.
No, I feel that.
That's
I
just
feel that.
it.
I feel that. No,
Ooh,
no self promo. No, none of that.
no, like what I mean, what am I supposed to say? Self promo. Listen to YT about the action for clear skin.
Of course, yeah,
And
of course.
yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you know what? I think that's a good place to end off. And yeah, I guess we can close off here. Whitey, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we close off this episode?
Stay in school, kids, and listen to your parents. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Absolutely, yeah. Cool. Listeners, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe. Whitey, please tell them to subscribe because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of
So,
where we are right now.
subscribe, guys, please subscribe.
You know the vibes. Thank you, Whitey. Yeah, listeners, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out Whitey About the Action's most recent track on all platforms, 24. Crazy track, crazy beat switch, crazy lyrics, crazy album art. I'm telling you, the album art for
Thank
24
you.
damn near blew my socks off. It was crazy. But
Oh, thank you so much.
yeah. But listeners of the IshPlusSix Podcast, watchers, thank you for listening. Keep it real, and I will see you later, alligators.